guys, it's SJ and welcome to Baby Name Wednesdays. It's a bonus. I normally do baby name lists every single Monday here on my YouTube channel, but this is a bonus one. These are unique alternatives to the top 10 boy names in the UK at the moment, because so many of us love Charlie, we love Arthur, we love Oliver. They've just stayed at the top spots for so long and then no one is shifting them. So I come up with alternatives that use either the same kind of sound, the same kind of vibe. I've really put a lot of thought into it, so hopefully you'll find a name you absolutely love here. If you are pregnant, congratulations, don't forget to hit subscribe to join our community here. This community puts together baby name enthusiasts with parents to be, and we just chat names all the time. We have loads of fun together. If there's a baby name announcement, pop it in the comment section below. You can also find us on Instagram, podcast, Pinterest, everywhere, chatting names, because we cannot get enough. It's surprising when you get talking about it how long you can keep going talking about it. So let me get into my list. This is not the top 10 baby boy names. The girl version is from last week. It is there as well. So at number 10, most popular boy name is Oscar. Again, a great name. So to change it up, you could go with Otis, which we're really liking. It's a German name meaning wealthy, really out there at the moment, like as in out there as in getting used. More and more people are choosing Otis, but it's not going to be, again, so popular as an Oscar. Or you can go Casper, which I think works really well as an alternative to Oscar. It is definitely shrugging off its kind of ghostly vibes, and we had like Casper the Friendly Ghost. That sort of isn't in kids' consciousness as much anymore. Maybe where some of us grew up a bit more with it, maybe it was more popular back then, or our parents watched it or something, I don't really know, but it is shrugged off, so don't be scared. Woo, sorry, to go with the name Casper. And number 9 is Charlie. Just such a, been around for absolutely ages. We're always like Charlie. It's sort of a cheeky chappy name. So the one that came up most commonly on forums as an alternative for Charlie was Archie. But obviously now we have Meghan and Harry with Archie. I don't know if that's going to put some people off or make you like it even more. But obviously it's super duper similar. It's got the same cheeky chappy vibes. One that I actually really like for it is Charlton. So isn't that a nice name? Robbie Williams and Ada, they have a Charlton. And I just think it's really nice. It is got that surname as first name thing going for it, and it actually means settlement of free men. So I think that's really nice because it's kind of got that activism sort of behind it that people really are into at the moment for the new sort of name era. We're sort of after things with strong meanings, and settlement of free people just seems really perfect for now, Charlton. The 8th most popular name in the UK at the moment is the name Jack for boys. These really hardly change at the top for us. It's really annoying. And obviously we've gone crazy with Jacks. We've gone Jacks. We've gone Jackson. We've gone Zach. We've done it all. So it's hard to find something. So I've tried to find something with a similar spirit to Jack rather than just a kind of variation of. So you could go with a similar one-syllable name, Art. So I really like, I know Arthur is higher up on this list actually, but I do think that Art by itself is quirky, but I feel like if you're gonna, it's got the same sort of little boy called Art is gonna be similar to little boy called Jack. Bear with me. It means noble one, which is unusual because you imagine it more of a like cheeky chappy type of name. Yeah, so Chris O'Dowd, they have a little son called Art. In Ireland, apparently it's used much more just by itself rather than a short name, and it's one that, again, I did actually think about and really, really like. Or the other one I've come up with is Flynn. So I have a little boy called Finn, which could also be an alternative to Jack, but Flynn, again, is Irish again, actually. But I think it's got the playfulness of Jack. It's got the outdoorsy spirit of Jack. It means like a ruddy complexion. So it does have that outdoorsy spirit that Jack's got, and that sort of cheeky chappy. Imagine brothers Jack and Flynn. But I thought if you like Jack, you might love Flynn as well. Number 7 most popular boy name in the UK is the name Mohammed. So again, a really irreplaceable name, but some alternatives if you're looking for maybe a sibling for a Mohammed. Other names I love is Khalid. Khalid is really lovely. I love the way that it looks written down as well. How pretty is that? And it means eternal or immortal. It's obviously another Arabic name, Khalid. So that's really, really gorgeous. The other one I really like is Ahmad. So that's really gorgeous as well. And it's another given name of Muhammad at birth by his mother. So it's really nice. I don't know if they would work as siblings, but as an alternative, if Mohammed is just really popular, is the name Ahmad. Number 6 is Leo. So I don't know anyone with the name Leo, which kind of surprises me, but I know it's super duper popular, of course. So alternatives to it, obviously you can go things like Leon and stuff like that all mean lion as well, but I do quite like Neo. I know that's a little bit, just changed one letter, SJ, but Neo is really, really different, and I do really like it, and it means new, and I kind of feel like for Easter Monday as well, Neo meaning new is really, really nice. And it's just a really good name. Lev as well, with a V at the end, I thought some of you might really like, because we love V names for boys, and we don't hear Lev very much, but it means lion and heart again. So really, really good alternative. A name I really like is the name, using the EO, is Diego. So I know it's different from Leo, but I think Diego is really lovely. It's a Spanish name. It means supplanter, which is actually the same as James. So it could also be an alternative to James if you just really want to use the meaning supplanter. But I really like it, and it's kind of playful. It's got the O at the end that we really like, but not many people are using Diego. So it's a little top tip, actually, alternative to any of those names, an alternative. I can't talk today. At number 5 is Harry. Oh my gosh, I struggled so much with Harry. So let me know any alternatives you have to this name below. It's just because it's such a one-of-a-kind name. All these top 5 I struggled with. The one I came up with, or 2 I came up with, one is Rory, because I do feel like if you love Harry, you'll love the name Rory. It's the same kind of, again, essence to it. It means redhead king, and I just think they can interchange in terms of their very similar feel to them, aren't they, a little bit? Or Ronnie. So Ronnie could also be an alternative to Harry if somebody's pinched Harry, or you're just worried it's too popular. And Ronnie's really rising. It's at number 64, so it is coming up through the ranks, whereas before it would have been a bit of a rare choice. Ronnie is a really good one. At number 4 is Arthur. So this was the surprise hit of last year, shot into the charts, Arthur. It'd be interesting to see if it's fast fashion or not and goes back out again, Arthur. But I really like Arthur. I thought an alternative that is creeping up behind it could be Alfred. Very Batman vibes, I know. We're big Batman watchers in this house, but it's at number 97, so it's only just inside the top 100, and it keeps on rising, Alfred. And people will really like it because they can do Alfie or even Freddie as a nickname, so it's kind of got a bit more you can play around with. So we might actually all know a lot of Alfreds, but not realise they're an Alfred because they just go by Alfie or Freddie. I thought you might like the name Ralph. So this name is so popular at the moment. It's at number 81, but I think it's going to keep going up. And I feel like with Arthur, you've got that newly popular vintage name that's back with a bang. And if you're after another vintage name that's kind of on its way but hasn't quite hit the Arthur ballpark, you know, I think that was helped by Peaky Blinders a lot, wasn't it? Then you could go with Ralph. I've done a whole list, obviously, every list going on this channel of vintage boy names that are sort of should be coming back in. So you can find that by looking at the playlist. Just type in SJ Strum Baby Name Mondays and you'll find them all. Vintage boy names. But what do you think of Ralph? It's a funny one, isn't it? But I think it's sort of got the Arthur vibes of that type of name. It's a little bit more spirited than a kind of really traditional vintage name, I feel. And number 3 is Noah. Again, been around for so long. One I really like as an alternative to it is Elijah. All these Hebrew names, you know, we've said them so many times. I've tried to look for different ones because we know about the Ezras, the Boazes, and all of those I've talked about before. But Elijah, you know, if you like Noah, you might want something that's a little bit not too out there, and Elijah's not too out there, but is another Hebrew name. And I actually really like Josiah. So Noah replaced with Josiah. So it's got the same AH at the end, but so much less used. And I just think it's really gorgeous one. Another Hebrew name that doesn't get enough use or mention. So sneaking it onto my list. You could go with Koa, which is a bit of, again, funny one, but it's Hawaiian. It's really lovely. If you love Noah because you love that sound, you might like Koa, and I really like it. It means little brave one. And number 2 is George. Again, super hard to come up with an alternative for George, but the ones I've come up with, I'm not going to do really boring ones because I wanted to give you proper food for thought. So the ones I've come up with is August. Reason being, I know if you like George, you might not be brave enough for an August, but also it's now a royal name. Eugenie's chosen August. We've heard the history about it in the royal family. And Augie, as a nickname, is so similar to George and Georgie that really, if you think about it, you can take that more brave leap than you think from George to Augie. Or Orson, which is so lovely, and it means bear. Orson, very traditional as well. I love it because I love the nickname Sunny, I love the nickname Bear, George, Orson. It's kind of got the or, but I wanted to give you something that wasn't just, if you like George, you're going to like Henry, because yes, you will, but if you like George, you might be able to be a bit braver than you even expect. And for Oliver, I've gone with the alternative Gulliver. So this came up in a few forums, Gulliver. I really like it, but I know a Gulliver who's really cool and is like a singer and all this cool stuff, so I just always associate it with him, and we would call him Gully. And I just thought it's really nice. Obviously Gulliver's travel, so it's got that literary. It does mean glutton in French, so if that's going to annoy you, don't go with Gulliver. But as somebody who's taken Oliver and you just want to be a bit different, Gulliver's a great one. The number one name that people were choosing on forums, because I looked at forums for an alternative to Oliver, is Evander. That's coming up all the time, so definitely much more unique. Similar prettiness. I think Oliver's such a pretty name for a boy. It means good man as well, Evander. What did we say Evan was an alternative for earlier on as well? So Evan was alternative for John. So if you've got Oliver John, you can just go Evander. Done in one. Thanks very much for listening to the top 10. Let me know what your favourite alternative is, and any more you can think of in the messages below. I will be there to say hi. Tomorrow I will have a lifestyle video up. I'd love you to come and have a watch of that and get to know me a bit more behind the scenes of the baby name stuff. If you've only ever watched this, I'm a mum of 3. I share lifestyle videos as well, and I will see you then tomorrow and Sunday for a brand new episode of Baby Name Envy as well. Take care guys, bye.